change the language so we reclaim these women from age-old and blatantly biased accounts by male historians. We need inclusive narratives that encourage us to rethink feminist action. And we need the books. We ain't waiting for the movies. Don't get me started on the hot mess that is Hollywood. The glass ceilings won't be smashed, the pay gaps bridged, or the patriarchy busted if we just sit around in unicorn onesies talking about it. Words inspire deeds. And researching these women alone has fired me up to not only write a book about them, but to fight back harder myself. Whoever we are, whatever we do for a living, and wherever we live, we are still having to compromise and use disguises to survive. Women and girls have forever been judged on how they look, while men have mainly been judged on what they say. Sorry to break it to you if this has blown your mind, although I very much doubt it has, as it's a fact that is impossible to avoid. A pernicious, pervasive truth that is having a negative effect on every level of society and holding us back from that equality finishing line at every turn. And sadly, it also happens among women. When I had to come out, because anyone that's not entirely straight as a line supposedly needs to do a press release on the matter, I had a barrage of jokes from other females, running their mouths, pondering if I'd be favouring Dr. Martens, Birkenstocks or Crocs with socks now. Crocs with socks! I know I'm waxing lyrical about equality, personal choice and not judging appearances here, but seriously, Crocs with socks? First of all, how dare you? Second of all, I said I was in love with a woman, not that I'd had a frontal lobotomy. Imagine a world in which women could go about their day looking however they liked and for their appearance not to be a constant conversation topic or erection agitator. Imagine a world where we could dress to make a statement if we so pleased and for that decision to be applauded and respected. Dreamy. Clothes do not maketh the person, though you should totally bump your own fists together if you leave the house feeling like you're dressing so fly you should change your name to Vinaigrette. Oh, and for the record, to be perfectly queer on the matter, Dr. Martens are hella cosy and I am about that life. Thank you very much. As discussions around gender evolve, we are finally challenging sex, sexuality and identity stereotypes. We may be at an ellipsis bubble and work in progress stage of proceedings, but at least we are bubbling and progressing. There are women among the 50 who would certainly have a different experience today being able to describe themselves as intersex, agender, multigender, genderqueer, gender fluid, non-binary. Please insert identification term of choice here. Neither the aforementioned nor those who were posing temporarily for personal gain were treated kindly, and accusations about them being sexual deviants, perverts, lewd lesbians, inverts and or troublemakers were never far away. The systemic delusions around LGBTQ+ and identification issues run deep and have, on many levels, produced a hellscape of otherness politics through which I've had to mine hop. As such, homophobic history would have us think that the majority of gender rebels still saw themselves as women while masquerading as men, but there will, of course, be some trans pioneers among the undecided, unlabelable and unboxable who fought the system. The mixture of motivations throws up all sorts of complex intersections, swings, roundabouts and even a couple of seesaws. Perhaps a pinch or truckload of salt might be required upon occasion. Perhaps this paragraph will be an even more bonkers read in the not-too-distant future. Fingers and flaps crossed. We can draw parallels between contemporary and historical identities, but appropriation should be reserved for profits and property, not people. If you believe and strive for oneness and kindness, I know you'll join me in reading between the lines of some of the pre-modern history book gobbledygook and assumption. For anyone who has even a speck of knowledge or insight into how women who speak up, achieve or try to are treated today, the experiences of some of these gender rebels might set off for fuck's sake alarm bells loud enough to make your ears bleed. But as a fervent, forward-thinking, full-throttle, alliteration-loving feminist, I believe